tonight we celebrate my 100th subscriber. I'm very happy that people enjoy some of the content I'm putting out there. I want to give something back to everyone. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to post the following video. And it's a video that's a little bit of a departure from what I normally do. There's no chainsaws involved, no wood cutting. But hopefully it's something that you all like, because I think most of the people that watch my channel are outdoors type people. So I hope you enjoy that. At the end of this video, I would ask you to just leave a comment down below, even if you just want to leave where you're from. That'll be enough. And then later this upcoming week, I'll draw a winner. And at the end of the video, I'll show you exactly what I'm going to be giving away. Thank you. Hey, welcome back to Woodruff Woods. This morning, we are out getting ready to go forage for some mushrooms. This is Mark.
Hi, my name's Mark, and I'm no, wrong meeting. we're gonna look for mushrooms, but we're gonna start here because right in my backyard are what we're looking for. And you'll see these are late season pinkies. They're honey brown mushrooms, but I wouldn't advise eating these mushrooms. They're the proper mushroom, but the mulch is treated with a chemical, so you don't want to eat those mushrooms. We're gonna go into the woods. We're gonna hit a virgin spot today because there's plenty of them. The woods are prolific with mushrooms this year. There's a lot of rain, a lot of moisture. I got some, if you want to see them on the back porch, are already clean from yesterday. But let's be on our way.
Okay, go.
Well, you're gonna have to ignore my dogs growling because that's just what they do. But these are processed honey brown mushrooms. I was very selective because we can be this year. There's just so many of them, so I try to pick only the buttons. When you cut them, you want to make sure that the stems are white and you clean the gut. A lot of times there's a hood. Stop it. So these, what I don't do is I don't like to take the flavors away from the mushrooms. I don't blanch them or boil them. I just put them in salt water, rinse them, strain them, rinse them again. Okay. Cold pack them when they're dry, so you don't get frost on the mushrooms. You don't get freezer burn.
So you said you only picked the buttons. What do you mean by buttons?
Well, I'm looking for a small, quality, thick-stemmed mushroom. So when they get bigger in the woods, they'll flatten out. I call them soupers. You could use them for soup, but they're really not as delicate and tender. These are great for flying, or you could put a flambe to them. Roast them really quick with whiskey or with some onions and bacon and get them crisp and caramelized. They're really good eating like that. So we're selectively picking because there are so many in the woods right now, like maitake mushrooms, hens of the woods. It's a whole different variety. I am by no means an expert, but I've been picking since I'm 2 years old. My family taught me. These are premium mushrooms. So you say you learn from your family, and from everything I've read and heard, it's always best to learn from someone else that knows what they're doing. So even though we're doing a little bit of like a demonstration here of how to pick mushrooms, this is not the way to learn, correct? No, there's no guarantee. And then people will send me, like good friends of mine, including Darren, will send me pictures of mushrooms. Hey, is this edible? And they'll show me the tops of the mushrooms. You always want to look at the gills. If you look at the back side of the mushroom, it's a gilled mushroom. So there's identifying markers. A lot of it's harder to see since they've been rinsed, but they'll have like as best described as like a tit in the middle of these mushrooms, surrounded by higher spores. It's an identifying marker, but there are false Aurelias that will mix with them. One of them that's very tricky to pick that will blend right in with these. It looks almost perfect to this mushroom, but it's hard, and it's got a harder top on it. So my advice to anybody is, if you don't know, don't pick it. When in doubt, throw it out. Yeah. But when you do pick them and you go through them twice. Sit, spread them out on a table, and mead them again. Because even somebody that's been picking as long as I have can make a serious mistake. I've never killed anybody, but I'm going to give Darren some mushrooms later. And we'll see how that works. But this is the process. We're going to take a ride to a new area. I've never picked it, but I like the looks of it. So we may find some, we may not. Let's find out.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go for a walk. Okay, so you said that you found a spot that looked good. What looks good about this spot?
Above, yesterday I found tons of them in this area, but I told some friends about it and they picked it. It's pretty much picked clean, but if you look in here, thanks to the Chinese, there's a lot of dead ash trees and there's bramble. Mushrooms love this heavy stuff and people don't. So this is where you want to look. If you're going in here, see these old deciduous trees, old deciduous forest, there's a creek in the bottom. So that creek will push off the cold air and lay moisture on the ground. I'm not sure because I've never picked it, but we're gonna go into this area because above it I've found plenty. This looks like a prime area to at least prospect.
Okay, I'll give everybody a look at this.
See the dead trees? You can see there's a hollow down below where the creek comes in. That cool air off that creek is going to provide the moisture that the mushrooms need. It's a nice cool morning. I'm not sure. I suspect they're here, but I've never picked it before. But I've got enough where I don't want to go into an old area and pick it, even though that would be a better maybe tutorial. I got enough. I'm looking for premium mushrooms. Let's go in here and see what we find.
Okay, great. Hey Mark, I think I found something here. I believe this is what we're looking for.
It is. There's plenty of these growing in this rough area where there's pickers and fern is an optimum place to work. You're around standing deadwood. There's a creek down here. You're correct, Darren. That is exactly what you're looking for.
So you say you don't pull these, you cut them, right?
Now these you can pull. This isn't like a maitake mushroom, what they call sheepshead. When you cut them, I like to pick them clean. See how nice and white the roots are?
Yep.
You don't even have to screw with these. I like this selectively cut. Some years this is a great year. These are premium eating mushrooms. That's a good find, Darren, but you're gonna see clumps down here. Look. Look at that clutch.
So just so everyone knows, we're next to a dead ash tree. And you can see at the base here, we have a number of the, what do you call these, honey browns?
These are honey browns. People refer to them as pinks, but this is a nice clutch. So, as you can see, if I find ones that are rotten, I won't waste my time, but these are clean. I can saw them real quick. They're all white on the bottom. When I get home, I'll pick through them, but I like to pick clean and not go home and have to do it all over again. These are really nice.
Yeah, very nice.
These are going home with Darren, so if you want to send him a message, he'll send them to you.
Yeah, right.
But up against the tree, you'll see these are a mid-season mushroom, but intermingled with those, these are a late season of the same mushroom.
Okay.
So these are, I would call them like a mid-fall mushroom. These are the late ones. These are delicious.
And they look like they're just darker in color.
They are darker in color, and they have a fuzzy head to them. They're pretty easy to identify, but what I'd watch for when you pick these are ones that have a hard shell to them. You can, to the touch, you can feel them. There will be a false Aurelia that will grow with these, but these are premium. This is a good little clutch right here. And we just barely stepped off the road.
Yeah, I'm sure they can hear the cars going by occasionally.
I'll wait. See here, you got one that's got a bug working its way through the root. Cut it down, and now when it's white again, you're good. When they're younger, they have a hood. Clean that hood out, because sometimes a centipede or a bug will get underneath it. But these are the ones I'm looking for. The ones that are like a raspberry color. They're the later ones. These are sweet. They have like a fuzz almost to the head, and a very indicative ring, almost like, I hate to say it, but like a woman's nipple.
Yeah.
And it's got a secondary ring around them when they get bigger. But it's got a little fuzz and a little tip. But people see the shroud underneath when they're younger. Clean that out. Make sure there's not a bug underneath.
Okay.
This is a good little spot right here.
Go.
Different type of tree. Under maples, pines. You'll find them when they're this prolific. But they're a weaker mushroom. If you compare to the ones we got, look at this stem on them. For some reason, they grow under hardwoods, sturdier, hardier, and much more easy to cut than they do like these. If I was picking and there was nothing out, I'd pick all these. Right now, I'm ignoring them because I'm looking for those big, thick stemmed,
Yeah.
dark. I've got enough.
All right, just for everyone, this is a hard maple. Is what this tree is.
They're literally everywhere in these woods. You just jump off. When you see dead ash in a creek, like where there's water and you get that cold, mildewy morning, where they love that environment. And it's bramble. It's hard to walk in, but that's what keeps the idiots out. So, not being an idiot, we're here. Like this stump, I just look at it and say, I think that's pine. I would almost guarantee there's nothing on this dead log.
Huh.
Like this one. I would blow past this because I think it's an old dead pine. You're not going to find them on that. You'll find other mushrooms, but normally not edible. Like I said. These are wrong. They look very similar to what we're picking, but they're wrong. That is not the mushroom we desire. They're growing on pine. Stay away from them. When in doubt, throw it out. Rule 1 of mushroom picking. Perfect soil for growing anything really, but for mushrooms, right along a creek. You got a heavy rot in here. You got nice dark soil. You could even smell it.
It's like musty.
It's got that musty smell to it. This is where you want to pick. Look at the nice deadfall in here. And especially in times where it's lean, look for a north slope if you can. And you can identify a north slope because the moss will grow towards the north on a tree. So if you find moss on one side of the tree, you know you're facing north. Usually the best places, this isn't really, it's facing north, it's not sloped, but it is facing north. Sometimes you'll go over a mountain and get on the south side and you won't find anything. Look at it. We came back to where I picked yesterday. John, my buddy, was obviously in here where I told him to go. But these ones that grow on a stump, these are premium. He's cut them already, but nice thick root on them. They're healthy. This is a really good area for them. Really.
You were just telling me off camera that this was picked yesterday.
Yeah, I told my buddy to come up here. We worked our way back up the ridge. The bramble in there was too heavy. But if you look, you got these young ones coming up in these little buttons. See these little buttons? You want to pick those. And when you're picking mushrooms, always leave a couple that'll flare out and drop their spores because the early mushrooms are the same as the late mushroom. Don't pick them clean and take everything out of the woods. Leave 1 or 2 of the bigger ones. Let them drop their spores again. Come back to the same tree.
So you're talking about spores. I know another way that you can help identify them is to do a spore print, which is just leaving them, leaving the mushroom on like a black piece of paper. Or
my buddy Mike, who he didn't know how to pick mushrooms, but he's a really intelligent person. So I brought him out and I showed him the 10, 12, 15 varieties that I know. But he took it to a new level and he does that. He takes spore prints. I was actually poking around here because yesterday I found abortiventilomas in here, which are also edible, and oysters. But again, with mushrooms, don't eat it because I said to eat it. You gotta know Antilomas are delicious, aborted ones. Antilomas are deadly. Then they look very similar. So when in doubt, throw it out is the golden rule of mushroom. But these are easy. Honey browns. It's like cutting cheese. This will make a nice snack with steak later. Perfect. And I'm gonna come back probably in a week, and all these little buttons that are around these trees, I'll come back and they'll be about 2 inches high when harvested.
So we just stopped at a roadside produce stand, a friend of Mark's, Mike it is?
Mike.
Correct? We decided to drop off our findings in the woods for him. So what do you sell here, Mike?
Apples, pumpkins, corn stalks, and we have bombs.
Bombs?
Bombs.
Okay.
You got any of that hard cider you've been hoarding? You got anything that'll tune me up this morning?
No.
We didn't get a lot. Like, we didn't really pick. We were only in the woods 5 minutes, but you know, giving them to him, that's as good. Like, you got to share the harvest.
Got to share the harvest. Right.
Mike's been giving me tomatoes for years.
Cabbage. Those are they're chocolate bombs. You put them in a cup of hot milk, and it's like making hot chocolate.
Ah,
Got a nice cabbage he's got back here. I got a craving for piggies.
Everybody has a craving. That's Polish soul food.
Polish soul food. He makes his own cider in the fridge. That's the best cider you'll find, right?
so you have an apple orchard nearby?
Yeah, up here and right down.
Yeah.
Got about 300 trees.
Wow.
Nice.
I see you have a lot of variety as well.
Yep, we have quite a few of them.
He'll tell you which ones are good for pie. My wife's going to be up later. She's
All
making
right,
pie
cool.
today.
Yeah,
She's making
perfect.
chicken and dumplings too. But I got more. We're going to get some more sheepshead. If you want some more, we'll drop them off.
Yeah, I'll
But-
take one more.
Yeah, I'll give you another one.
Because
Take
she
Darren.
froze a lot of that one.
Did she?
Yeah, and that's
Dude, I picked 27 of them this year.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's just nice to get out in the woods.
Oh, absolutely.
And play around, and
Can't beat it.
you can't beat it. But we just stopped
Stress-
by to say hello. It's not a lot, but it's what I had.
It's perfect.
You know what I mean?
Perfect.
All
Thank
right,
you
buddy.
very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Nice to meet you too. It's a pleasure.
What are these white ones, Mark?
You know what? Any white mushroom, it's not growing on style. I wouldn't screw with them. But that looks like a dead sheep's head there.
Oh. Oh my.
What are you find there, right?
I believe you are correct, sir. There's some sheep's head growing over here too.
Yeah, it looks like a couple small ones. We're gonna let Darren have these. He found
This
them.
is Uncas here, and there's Buddha. We're back on Mark's property at this point.
This is what. Look at, there's little brown ones growing around it. There, look at. You also got papinks growing in there.
Huh.
These mushrooms, the Japanese call them maitake mushrooms. If you cut them right, they're gonna grow here every year. So we don't want to pull this out by the root. We're just gonna slide the blade in like this. We're gonna harvest the top. That one's a little buggy. Amen, take it. That one too. We'll hope this one's better. This one looks healthier. The color's better. It's not orange yet. My bet is when we cut this, it's gonna be fine. Much better, much cleaner. Put this upside down in water. Let any bugs or dirt come off it. And then just slice it like this into like ham steaks. But here you go, Darren, that's for you.
This is nice, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, is there any other mushrooms in Pennsylvania that look similar to this that would be
You've got
dangerous?
hens of the woods. They'll grow. You'll see them just sprout up. Sheep's head, they call them, or they're a maitake mushroom. They're these, and there's also chicken of the woods. Chicken of the woods are an orange color. They'll also grow on dead stumps, usually hardwood, sometimes cherry. Up above on this ridge, there was one every year, but I think it just got too old. This year it didn't come back. After a while, like anything else, like me, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And they died. But this particular white oak, it looks like it's living, but you can see there's no leaves on it. It's dead. You can see all the lichens growing on it here. These are unedible. This is crap.
Yep.
But yeah, we should be able to come back here for the next 5-6 years and pick mushrooms off this tree. You can tell them they already do. I don't know what that is. It might be a young
Sheep's head.
but the color is not right. I wouldn't pick it.
Yeah.
That gray or white, that I'm not sure of, so we're gonna leave that alone.
Yep.
So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I want to thank my friend Mark for taking us out, showing us around, showing us a little bit of mushroom picking. It's not something I've gotten confident doing, but I'm hoping with a little help from him that I will end up being competent in doing so. Anyway, just so you know, this week I will be giving away a pickaroon. This is the Fiskars XA22. I actually got this a few months ago. I absolutely love it. And I think it's a great tool for anybody that does the stuff that most of us do on these channels. Cutting firewood, picking it up, putting it on a splitter, putting it in a trailer, in the bucket of your tractor, whatever you do. It really saves on the back. So I'm looking forward to giving a brand new one of these away. And hopefully, you know, I'll get to see who's watching my channel this week. And maybe have some communication with each of you. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I look forward to our discussions in the future. Take care.